Dude, I have to think of some tour stories from the year and a half of Paxton that I can say on the air.
I was about to say, because I know I've heard some of that.
About throwing up the next day at Blue Room when we stayed at your sister.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah, I forgot. They still live in that house to this day.
Well, there's like a throw up stain sitting on their back porch somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that one, dude. That one was that night. That whole trip was crazy. I have a video, dude. Remember?
That's a
just learning
horror
how to
story
do
in
it.
Statesboro. Anytime you go down
I would be
there.
down to have a whole podcast of just all your stories from.
Dude, that'd have to be a ticketed event. We'd have to check IDs before.
It would be part 1 of 5 ongoing.
Yeah, we would.
It
We
wouldn't
would
even
definitely
be
charge.
PG-13, dude. We would not. Yeah, you.
This is an X-rated film. We're charging $100.
But today on the podcast, we got a good buddy, good friend, one of the first guys I ever toured with when I came to Nashville, Mr. Paxton Peay.
Thank you for having me, fellas.
Good to have you,
About
buddy.
time.
What's up?
We've been talking about doing this for a while.
I'm excited to be here. I'm glad
Yeah,
we got this thing rolling, man.
Yeah, dude, about time. But yeah, I think the first run I ever did with Paxton was in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Rick's Cafe in
Was it
Starkville, Mississippi, and where was the other one at?
Steele's Dive? Wasn't it?
Steele's, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was a good run,
What
too.
a time to be alive and to play Steele's Dive, dude.
R.I.P.
For the
man.
people that are viewing this and have not ever been to Steele's Dive was imagine just like a small town like restaurant, like a barbecue restaurant kind of, but it's not a barbecue. They don't only have barbecue. Like it's not even a barbecue restaurant, but just how barbecue restaurants are kind of set up. Like you
soul
have
food.
porches that are
Yeah.
like closed in.
And a bunch of sides.
You have all like the wooden stuff everywhere,
Right,
all
right,
wooden
right.
tables, wooden floors, like really good salads, really good sides. But you have all these tables, and then right beside the tables is like a dance floor that's probably 6 feet wide.
Nice, like
and then
live
you have
music
a
or like
stage.
DJ?
And dude, so during
no,
the
live
shows,
music.
like
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah.
keep the tables in there because they're so huge. But people are just standing in the mid, like sitting, standing, and like you can smoke cigarettes in there, so you can like eat your steak.
Crazy
and salad.
sound
Wait,
system.
where'd you say
too.
this was?
Steele's
It's
Dive, Tupelo,
Tupelo,
Mississippi.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
But dude, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen because you can get a salad and a steak while you're smoking a cigarette, and then you can enjoy live music at the same time.
And get up and dance
And they have
with your
great-
cigarette
And
and go
dude,
eat your food.
like-
Ash shit in your
But we
plate.
played like 2 really great shows the 2 nights before, and then we ended it, I think, in Tupelo. And
Well, still, that was a good show too. Like,
And
Yeah.
that was where y'all played? Was
Yeah.
in there?
yeah,
That's
that was
cool.
the first time, and that was the first time I had ever been to Mississippi ever.
Were you ripping darts on stage?
no, I wasn't ripping darts at that point. But I mean, like I think that was actually the show that we set the attendance record in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
think
cool.
so.
Yeah,
you
I'm
get like
pretty
your
sure
name
it
on a
was.
plaque or some shit?
And then I think
Or-
Walker like beat it like a year later. or
Yeah,
something.
it was
Shout out to
something
Walker
like that.
Wilson?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Old WW Live.
But R.I.P. to Steele's Dive was
Yeah,
an
dude,
amazing
that was
place.
the first time I went to
They're done.
Mississippi with Paxton,
Yeah.
and that was like the first show we did.
I think
there.
there's another place like that.
I think we
in
did 2 or 3
Mississippi.
there, then it got shut down.
Damn.
It's crazy.
I mean, yeah.
Like they had like
It's
I'm
crazy
not joking,
businesses
like,
that happens to.
hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of like sound and production, like lights.
Yeah, dude, the
Like,
sound,
top of the
everything there
line
was
speakers.
crazy for
Yeah.
like a whole venue, but it wasn't even a venue. It was just like
Yeah.
a
It
restaurant.
was
on
just like a
stage.
badass bar that like people were like, hey, so there ain't nothing else to do in this town, so we're just gonna go kick it in Tupelo tonight.
And that was like all they
Steele's
had
Dive.
in Tupelo?
Yeah, I mean there was that, and then another
Yeah,
bar
I've heard
called
of Tupelo.
Shake
It's
Shack.
so small.
Yeah. Tupelo is
Probably
the
from y'all.
birthplace of Elvis Presley.
That's where I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Isn't it in that
So
song?
it
That's
was
where
like- it was
we
like
let
the
Mac
hood.
there. We
Yeah,
went to,
dude.
so we went to visit like the birthplace of Elvis. I was showing the guys where like Elvis was born one time. So it was like me, Cato, Mac Eason, Drew Henry. I think that may have been it. No, Logan was with us too, I think. And we all like
Wood.
stopped. There's like a bathroom there.
Cody was
and,
there too. Drummer.
Yeah, that's right. Cody was with us, and we're like getting ready to head back to Nashville, leaving. I think we played in Starkville actually, and we all stopped and like use the restroom there. So we pile back up in the van. We all get in there. We think Cato cranks car, drive
We
off. Drew
I have one
Drew
guess on who is missing.
Drew says, "Hey, did y'all realize we left Mac?"
Oh, Mac.
So Mac is still in the bathroom. So we turn around, go back and
okay.
get Mac, park in the same parking spot. He never realizes that we left him
Oh, nice.
until he gets back in the car and it's pretty quiet. I don't know, probably 2 or 3 minutes.
He must have been
We finally told
on the
him.
shitter for a minute.
Oh yeah, he was there. He was there for a while, and then finally we're just
He's like, oh,
yeah, Mac.
they're not even mad that it took so long.
Yeah.
He didn't realize we left him. Though,
Right,
until we
exactly.
I
finally
pulled
told
out,
him.
got on the road, and I was like about to turn to get on the interstate. And Drew said that, and I looked back. I thought they were like messing with me, and I looked back and I was like, "Oh my god!" So I like whipped it around real quick, sped in there, like realized he wasn't outside yet, threw it in the parking spot, and he got in. And we were just like trying not to laugh.
The things you learn in action as a TM.
Yeah,
Make sure you get a head count.
Oh man, good story.
What year did you move up here?
So I moved up here August of 2021.
August. I moved up here in June.
Yeah, so we were pretty close.
Yeah.
Like the only person only few people I knew when I moved up here was like Burrell, because I'd met him. I played the round at Live Oak like 2 weeks before I moved up here, and at that point I still like hadn't even decided that I was going to move here. It was just kind of like on a whim thing, and I moved up here and I knew Clay Barker and Justin Holt, and that was it. Like, and then just kind of started doing the whole networking thing, and you know, it's kind of awkward, like, when you first move up here. I'm not, like, a super, like, social person, but you have to, like, figure out how to talk to people. So,
Debatable.
Live Oak and Red Door was, like, my home for, I feel like, a year. Like,
Yeah, we lived there about 5
I'm not a
days
social
week.
person. Live Oak and Red Door is just my home.
I mean, I say that like I'm not social. I am a social person, but I'm, like, not, like, one to just, like, go spark
Especially
up a
when you don't,
conversation
like you said,
that.
when you don't know
Yeah,
anybody.
I feel you. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, and it's
it's
like-
hard because it's like work, especially in like the business.
And
yeah.
like when you first move up here, it's kind of intimidating because like you're seeing all these people and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, he wrote that song or that so and so he played with this person, and you just kind of like have to figure it out. Like, you got lucky enough to like get tied in with a crew, or what they call it, a class
Yeah.
up here. And
We were talking to Jake Hill about that, and he was saying how, like, and we were saying it's part of how it's so fun is
Yeah.
you see these people, you're so intimidated, and you befriend them, then you get your own group and kind of grow together.
yeah, and that's like the cool thing about this town is like you find like a tight knit group of people, and I mean it's just kind of like your group. It's like
yeah.
It's like family away from family.
Yeah, and that's what it really feels like. Cause like I don't know if people understand that, you know, we're not really with our families very much. Like,
Yeah.
your family is like your friend.
You
group,
watch
in a
your
sense.
show Friends.
I'm not like an avid watcher of Friends. I mean, I love Jennifer Aniston, but
Yeah,
who doesn't?
true.
So.
I was just gonna say the writers of that show were saying they wanted to sum up the whole show with it's about the time of your life where your friends are your family, and it's like we're getting that age.
I mean, that's
as a
pretty
fan of the
accurate
show,
too.
it's
Like
cool
I've
to
never
think
thought
about.
of it like that,
Yeah.
but like if you really like step back and look at that show from that aspect, that's really what that was. Like, just a group of people that lived in New York City, I think is
Yep.
where it was.
Yeah.
And just like an apartment, like that was all they had. I don't think
It
they
was
ever
just
showed
each
their
other.
parents on there either. Not the episode. that I've seen.
They have some good ones, but yeah.
Yeah, that's how it. That's how it is for sure. Cause and when we were all first going out, dude, it was like just looking back. It's so crazy how we all met.
Yeah.
First person I met out of our friend group
We met through
was Nick
Benders.
Kane at the bar, and I complimented Nick's mustache. Literally just said like he looked at me, I looked at him. I was
Nick
like,
does have a good
I was
stash.
like, damn,
Yeah.
dude, that's like that's a bitchin' mustache.
Shout out to Nick
Chug
Kane and your
chat.
bitchin'
God,
mustache.
this beer's got me tweaking already. But shout out to Nick and his mustache. I just said like, damn, dude, that's a cool mustache. And he was like, dude, thanks, dude. You want to take a shot?
Dude,
And
Kato kills the
and I was
impressions,
like,
bro.
yeah, dude, that'd be sick. And he was like, what do you want? I had a Jack and Coke in my hand. I don't know how, because back in the day I could not afford to buy no Jack and Coke and be walking around with that when I first moved here. But he looked at my the cup and had whiskey in it, and he was like, dude, we could do Jack Honey. And I was like, yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. So he took this, and he was like, dude, I play bass for a guy named Connor Sweeney. Oh, my God, he's actually right there. Connor walked up, and I meet Connor, and I think I met Eli and Josh.
And now Connor's our neighbor.
Dude, I thought they were like, when I meet these guys and they have a whole band and they're all dressed really nice, like, I was kind of intimidated at first. I was like, damn, dude, these guys are put together. Like, they're all friends. Like,
Yep.
they're a whole band. Like, damn, that's crazy. And I was telling them I moved up here to do, like, photos and videos and camera work and try to get into
Yeah.
management, a bunch of other things. And they were just, like, so cool and inviting. And then I met somebody else. I met Paxton at Live Oak, I think, outside on
Yeah.
the little picnic table.
At the smoking section.
Yeah. Don't tell my mom. We met in the smoking section. But yeah, dude, just like meeting everybody, and then we all would go to Connor's and
Poker
play
night.
poker night.
I met all of you there.
See,
one
like,
of
that
those
was, like,
nights.
one of the
I didn't even
coolest
live here
things
yet.
to
The first time we
That-
ever
that's
met
the reason
Wilkins,
I moved here.
that same night we met Wilkins, he had a whole bottle of wine, and he got down on one knee, and they poured it into a funnel, and he funneled this entire bottle
Oh,
of
man.
wine in under
Oh,
90
man.
seconds.
Yeah, it kind of took me longer than it should have.
Was that just
but,
like a first, like you were like, damn, dude, like these guys seem cool, like I need to assert
How'd
dominance?
you feel 30 minutes later?
It was some of that,
Or
but it was
what,
some of
like-
like I was balling on a budget because we were on a road trip, and I was like, I want to, tie one off tonight, and let's do it quick. Let's get there first.
A bottle of
And-
Boone's Farm
Was it
from
red
the gas
wine or
station.
white
And it was
wine?
white wine, and I had done it before just with the bottle, and
It's
I honestly think
terrible,
it's easier with that. I was like, oh, the fun will make it way easier, but I was just like, I
How'd
don't
you
know.
feel after that?
Man, a wine hangover, especially the wine I'm buying, is not fun.
Like $5 a
That's
bottle.
disgusting.
Yeah, no, but that night we played poker. I took everyone's money. It was amazing.
As
and
always.
but yeah, I met y'all, and I hadn't even moved up here. We were just on a road trip, like I was saying, and came back, visited. I was like, I'm close with these guys, and now I'm living with two of the guys that I met that night, you and Logan. But
Shout out.
Welcome.
yeah.
Welcome.
Dude, is there anybody? We can talk about this too because like our circle of friends is like so tight and like we all talk shit on each other and we do just obnoxious things to each other like a family and brothers would. Is there anybody in town that when you like first met you had like a bad like, or not in town like in our friend group that you had like kind of like a bad first impression on, but now it's like they're homies? Like when I first met
I'm trying to think.
Dude, when I first met Chastain, it wasn't here. It was I've known Chastain like since we were like 17, 18, like in college. When I first met Hunter, dude, I was like, dude, this dude is like, this is a rough son of a bitch. Like this dude
He's
is
the definition
this dude's
of Rome,
intimidating,
Georgia,
dude. Like
man.
if I'm sitting there and I say some stupid shit and he just kind of looks at me, I'm like, damn, dude, I shouldn't have said that.
Hunter's Rome, Georgia.
But
too.
I love
too.
Hunter to death, dude. I would do anything for him.
yeah,
When I first
Hunter's
met
my boy,
him,
man.
I was like, dude, I don't know. He might be a little too wild and rough for me.
I will say one thing about Hunter too. Hunter's like somebody I would say like if you're like about to get in a bar fight at 3 o'clock
yeah,
in the
dude, I
morning,
want Chastain there.
and
outside.
Hunter's at home, you could be like, hey, I'm down here at Live Oak. This dude's like fixed to whoop my ass in like 15 minutes. Hunter will
Yeah.
be there in 5 minutes if he
yeah,
lives
or
30
and he'll
minutes
send
away.
a message, boys assemble.
Yeah, boys assemble.
Dude, I met Hunter when I was in college. Like I met him through Noah Hicks, and I was like a huge fan of Hunter too. Like Whiskey Dial had just came out. And
Hunter's got some like banging ass songs,
Hunter's great.
and he's got some in the arsenal that are like
Dude,
gonna be amazing.
Dude,
for real though.
dude, I told him to quit fucking with me, dude. Yeah, dude, Hunter's awesome. All the boys are awesome, dude. Walker, Connor, like, dude, the OG boys in the group chat, dude. Like the first group chat I ever made. Were you in that?
I think I was in the car with you the day that you made
I
it.
think
Like,
it was Paxton, James Mason. Shout out to James, dude. James was sleeping on my couch in Nashville when he moved up here, but he didn't tell his parents that he moved up here.
no.
His
At the
parents thought
Anthem?
he was in college.
Yeah, his parents had no idea.
Had no clue, bro.
Oh my god!
So he's just
I
up
haven't
here,
heard
and
this.
he was like, I was like, what's your plan? And he's like, dude, I don't have one.
Savage. Dude.
And I was like,
That's a
dude, we
sick
got
story.
we got a pretty like big couch, like you can crash on it if you want to. He was like, cool. We stayed for like 2 weeks, and then like just kind of got up one day and left. And
He-
He
wait, he was
did
at
that pretty
Georgia?
often. Like he'd come to town
Did
for a
he?
couple weeks. Yeah, he was still a student at Georgia.
But he
was
never
still going to
graduated.
UGA.
I think it was
he
online
did.
Oh, he
classes.
did?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
graduated online. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
so it was one. Okay,
But
when it was
all of
online.
our friends, dude, have like the craziest stories. Like
Yeah,
that's
bro.
James's story, and like Christian was like a track athlete and
Yeah.
like D1,
Yeah.
and then comes write songs, and then like Jake Gans, he's one of the OGs, dude. He's been here like before
Yeah.
like any of us.
Yeah,
have.
he's
Jake
been- Jake was
knew
here for a
Connor Sweeney band. He was playing in it at Clemson.
Yeah.
Jake moved up here earlier than they would come
And
up
then
to record.
Jake lived with Connor, so whenever we'd go over there on poker nights, we would like we met Jake. I met Christian there for the first time.
And Connor convinced me, Mac, Hunter
Yeah,
Holland.
dude, that was the first night I hung out with Connor. I met like Paxton would come over there, like Drew Henry. Like,
Dude,
all
honestly,
boys.
the most intimidated I probably was I remember when I met Sam Johnson because Connor, shout out to the late great Sam, saw the
Shout out
Songfather.
Sam.
miss you, buddy.
But so because there's not a lot of people that are taller than me. I mean,
Yeah.
you're taller than me, but you know how Connor will like talk people up and he'll get someone so hyped up and you're like, oh, this guy's a stud. And I meet Sam and
Yeah,
he's
dude.
just
It was because Sam was
so
quiet.
confident. Well, but when he talked and he was like, he's a songwriter, badass. Like we wrote all this stuff, and I had so much respect for Connor as an artist. So I'm like, he's working with Connor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first thing I thought of. So I got
Yeah.
shout out.
Yeah, dude, that's true. Because Sam was, he didn't like, I mean, if you knew him, like he talked a lot, but like when he said something, everyone kind of
Yeah,
like, shut up. And
he had the
listened.
one-liners.
So
He's
it's like
one
if
of-
you
yeah.
first met him, you were like, okay, dude, like they respect this dude. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a big dude too.
Man, I miss like the Sam comebacks like in our group
Dude,
chat,
yeah,
dude. I would give
smart-ass
anything to like
comebacks.
wake up one day and see one of his like
I have a screenshot of
nonchalant,
him.
like smart ass comments
Yeah,
back.
dude.
to
He says,
something
"Calm down,
somebody
children."
said.
Yeah. Dude, when we were on TikTok Live that night, we were on, I think, Hunter Chastain's TikTok.
Oh
and
yeah.
At Christian's house, dude, we had,
We had like 1,000 people
no,
on there.
dude.
No, it was like
we
more
had
than
like
that.
4,000,
Yeah.
6,000.
Yeah.
And everybody was jamming. And I had the camera, or the iPhone camera. like Christian Yancey, Hunter Holland, Walker, Bryce Leatherwood, Paxton. Were you over there?
Cody was there.
Cody Loeb was there.
I was there. I have
were
a
there.
voice memo from that night of everyone singing
Kenny Whitmire.
Colder Weathered.
Yeah. But anyways, we were all over there jamming. And we started jamming at like maybe 10. And during like us like playing, Sam and I don't know if Kenny did too, but I know Sam had went to bed or like went in his room.
Oh, dude.
You're talking about a Christian's house. I thought you were talking about.
I'm talking about a Christian's house.
And the other
It's a
boulder.
few of us.
Okay, yeah.
And dude, we're jamming and we're on TikTok Live for like 2 hours. We get so many people on this TikTok.
Keep in mind, it's
we're
like
and as the night's going on,
1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, it's like starts at 10 and around 10. As the night gets on, it gets past midnight.
It was like after the Super Bowl.
The
or
drinks
something.
just keep going up too. So I think it was
absolutely.
after
That's a
Or
I
the
think it was
national
after the national
championship.
championship.
Yeah.
Anyways, drinks keep going up. So then, dude, Sam opens that door and we just hear like. I was like, dude, I know what this is gonna be. And he was like, hey guys, it's like 1 a.m. Do you think we could like quit? And we're like, yeah, dude, we'll be done in like 10 minutes. Like we promise. Like we're gonna tell everybody bye. We keep playing, dude. He comes back out there, and dude, before he said anything, like everyone's just picking shit up, and like we're getting ready to leave.
I think that's the quickest I've ever left somebody's house
Dude,
since I've been
oh
up
my
here.
God.
Like I knew the last time that Sam came out, it was just like the whole room kind of silenced. Everybody got
Yeah.
quiet, and it was like,
Yeah.
all right, it's time to
He
go.
left.
I mean, it was respecting, and you don't want to piss off the
Yeah,
guy.
like we're in
he
his
needs to
house
sleep.
too, but like
yeah.
it's just, dude, it was so funny. But yeah, dude, it's crazy to see like how far everybody's came. Everybody's like grown together.
It doesn't feel like it's been
Almost 3 years.
yeah.
3, dude.
Well, I was about to get it wrong. I almost said almost 2 years, but
Almost 3. Yeah, it's fine.
yeah, almost 3
Almost
years.
2 for me.
After you moved
I'm not
up
at
here,
2
and,
yet.
like, dude, yeah, and like Eamon, that I was thinking of that night we met. I met Eamon that night, but since then, from like that person that the artist that you were from then to like now, like how'd you start playing shows? Like how'd you start like getting booked around the Southeast? Like how'd you get a band together? How did you?
I mean, it really started like for me, like super early on. My family's like very big in music. I say my family, like my granddad, he was a songwriter and he played music. My uncle was a drummer. My mom used to sing like when she was a kid. They had a band like back in the day, and me and my cousins, my first cousins, we started a band before I moved up here called Third Generation because we're like the third generation of musicians.
3
in our
G's and
family.
Rick's Cafe.
Yeah, I got it spray painted on the wall in there, and we just put a band together and just I would literally message any like small honky tonk bar anywhere that we could drive to on the weekend just
Like
to
email
play.
them?
Oh yeah, I'd email them, Facebook message them, like Instagram, whatever I had to do. And where it kind of really opened my eyes that I wanted to do this was the first time I reached out to Rick at Rick's Cafe, and he asked me to come up to the bar. We took a meeting in a sense, and he asked me if I wanted to open for Jason Miller Band, which Jason Miller Band used to be a band called Cross and Dixon back in the day. They had a song called Guitar Slinger. It was like number 1 on Top 20 Countdown. Oh, wow. Shout out to CMT for the good old days. And then after we played that show, I was like, okay, like I feel like this is something that I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
Don't really know how to get there. I stayed in town for, in Starkville for probably another 2 years, just like working and trying to like actually figure out what I was going to do because I had no idea.
What year was this?
2019, I believe it was. Yeah, 2019. I never ended up finishing college because like school was just something that did not interest me at all. So I went to work. I was working at a
You
farm.
really don't need it.
I mean, I don't feel like you do unless you want to like get some big
Yeah,
corporation
unless
job.
you be a
which-
scientist or
yeah, like-
doctor.
and that never interested me. So I basically tried to stick it out and figure out what I wanted to do myself. And I was like, okay, well, I like farming, but I don't want to do that the rest of my life. So I started working construction with one of my friend's uncles. And I mean, it was paying the bills, but I also hated being there every day. I just felt like I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And on a whim, I just said, hey, I'm going to move to Nashville. And like ever since then, everything just kind of falls into place. I feel like when you put yourself in the right area in your life and surround yourself by like other successful people, and like this is the place to do that.
The big thing I think is who you surround yourself with.
Yeah,
They
that
say
matters
like
more
show me
than
your friends
anything.
and I'll show you your future.
Like successful people, like is who you need.
Not
to be
only
around if you wanna be
successful, but
successful.
happy people, like
And happy people
good
as well,
people
for sure.
that are serve others. But
And
yeah,
people that like uplift you and like want you to be better at something.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's why like our
motivate
friend
you.
group is so cool because like dude I don't write, I don't make music, but like I guess I work in music.
For
And
sure.
I don't know, it's like that sense of like, oh dude, if I can do this, and like kind of not even like talk shit, but like it's like at the end of the day, dude, like it's kind of like a little competition, like within our friend group.
for
like
sure.
as much as like
you need that competitive.
Yeah, and it's not like I said, we don't talk shit or like maybe sometimes we do.
I mean, yeah, we definitely talk some shit.
It's all like all love and like friendship at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know, dude. That's why I like like being around successful people and people that are driven, because like I know at the end of the day, like if I don't bust my ass and work and do this and do that like these days are gonna go by, but someone else is gonna do it. So it's like within our friend group, all these people are doing all these cool things, and I think it's because like everybody's energy levels and everybody's wants and all that stuff and seeing towards the future, everything is the same.
Yep.
So everyone's trying to fight that goal, and we're all doing it at the same time, and it all just kind of brings everybody to.
Well, it like fuels
so
you to work
fight
hard too.
It's so
exactly.
fun when
That's
the
what I
people
meant, like
around
a
you
fuel to the
believe in
fire.
you.
Yeah, and like having like a community that believes in you like helps a lot. And like you said, the competitive side of it, I feel like having something like to work towards, like seeing somebody doing this, like it's like, okay, well, I need to do better at something that I'm doing to get to that point. Like I feel like the competitive side of thing is, I don't think it's like a bad competitiveness either. Like,
oh no way,
everybody just wants to be great.
I think it's like a healthy,
Proverbs.
like, because at the end of the day, dude, you need something to drive you. You need something to like fuel it. You need, and it can be self-driven all the time. But I don't know, just like personally with me, if I see like one of our friends or like a former cameraman I know like doing something cool, like damn, dude, like if I would have done this and that, maybe I could be right where he is. So it just gives you motivation.
But
to work
it's like
harder.
watching film. You're like getting.
It's kind of just learning and seeing what
right.
other people are doing and taking from what they do and not taking from what they do and just building. But it's
you
cool
can
to
learn a lot by watching.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
observational learning.
And it's cool to learn from your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna pee.
Little pee break.
Can you toss me another beer?
Yeah, dude, I used to stop recording and then just record again.
Played with this Matt McElwain guy one time. Let me tell you, disaster. Dude can tear up a bar tab.
You ain't never played with bar tab.
Ski.
What are some of the like most memorable times on stage or shows or opening acts or whatever you've done, like show wise? What kind of like sticks in your brain and stays there? From those
I would probably
moments?
say like at the top of my list was like first time selling out Rick's Cafe in Starkville. Like when I say sold out, like I've sold it out 5 times now, but the first actual like sellout, like day of, like couldn't buy tickets at the door. It was a LSU weekend, and like I think it was a September show, and I had Walker Wilson come open for us, and I have like people hit me up like all day long, like, yo, the ticket link's down, like can't buy tickets, like what's going on? So like I hit up Rick. Rick doesn't know, he's not at the office, so like I'm low key kind of freaking out because I'm like, yo, like tickets how I make money. Like people buy tickets to come to shows, like that's how you get paid. And so I hit up Rick and he's like, I'll let you know when I get to the office. He calls me back on it 30 minutes later. I'm out in the junction, tailgating, having a great time. And Rick calls me and says, well, the reason people can't buy tickets is because the show's sold out. And my jaw kind of like dropped, and I said, what? He said, yeah, it's sold out, but I'm going to add 30 more tickets. And when they're gone, they're gone. And I got off the phone, and I was like mind blown at this point. I was like, so we just sold 1,000 tickets. Like nobody can get in the door.
And especially in Rick's, dude, that's a lot of people in there.
I mean,
that's like people that want to see you too.
Yeah, and it's like the thing for me is
historic room, and
I still like to this day, like I'll go out and do like some cover shows just because I'm trying to like grow myself as an artist and like grow a fan base in a sense. But when I go back home, I do my 90-minute show with all of my originals in it because like people back there, like they believe in what I'm doing, and I mean they show up and support and they want to hear my stuff, and that's like the coolest thing in the world. Like that's the first place I've ever played, and people like sing the words back to my song. Like I've got a song out, Hometown Hero, that I'm putting out later this year that people there sing every word to.
Yeah,
and it's not even out.
It's
Logan will talk to me. He like loves going to Starkville with you, and he said he'll walk around and you're like a celebrity down there. Like,
literally, dude. Everyone in Starkville, Mississippi knows who Paxton Peay is.
It feels that way.
So crazy,
and that's like it's kind of weird to me. There, I wouldn't say it's like weird, but it's just like like I grew up here my whole life, like my hometown. But it's a good feeling because it makes you like appreciate what you're doing, like because you see people like they're noticing your hard work and like noticing the things that you're doing. Because like This grind is hard. Like, I tell everybody I meet, like, you think you're working hard, like, move to town, and it gets 10 times harder. Because you're constantly, like, seeing
it goes
everybody
back to the
else's
competitiveness.
success. Yeah, that's where the competitive side comes. And the best piece of advice, or one of the best pieces of advice I was ever given was from John Langston. Like 2 weeks before I moved up here, he called me, and I was working my old job, and I was just like in a bad mood. Didn't want to be there. I was rebuilding some steps on a fraternity house. And he was like, how'd your trip go? And I was like, man, I like it. I just don't know if that's my vibe. I don't know if I fit in here. And he said, well, one piece of advice that I wish I could have given you is you can't hit home runs if you're not in the ballpark, and always keep your horse blinders on. And, like, the horse blinder thing is stuck with me because you get caught up seeing what, like, everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you focus on yourself and, like, focus on your own goals, it helps out a lot.
Yeah, like keep a tunnel vision, eyes on the prize.
For sure.
That's cool. I was about to ask you, I don't know if that would be your answer, but like what's a conversation you've had with someone or something that you either seen or witnessed, or maybe something you saw on stage that's given you the most inspiration?
I would say, like, I wouldn't say it necessarily gave me inspiration, but it, like, gave me, like, hope and drive.
Like fuel. Like,
The 2021 College World Series I went to, I had a bunch of friends on the MSU baseball team that played. That was the year that we won the World Series.
hell yeah.
And I went up there, watched some of my friends play, and that's where I met Hardy there. And we got to talking outside of one of the bars one night, and I told him I was moving to town. And he posted this clip on a podcast the other day. I can't remember which one it was, but he told me the same thing. We were getting ready to leave, shook his hand, like, told him, I'll see you in town. And he, like, hollered at me. I was, a few yards away, and he was like, come here, I need to tell you something. And I was like, all right. And I get back over there. He said, never have a plan B because plan A will never work out. And that's, like, the mindset.
You just
that I've
reposted
had.
something,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah, that
you
was that
just
same
said that on
clip.
like a podcast.
And that is one thing that just stuck with me because it makes so much sense, because if you try to revolve your life around, like, a backup plan,
Yeah.
you're not focused on the plan that you're set out to do in the first
And
place.
back to the like tunnel vision and horse blinders. It's easy to get discouraged if people are doing all this success.
Yeah,
but then when
is.
you look back and see how far you've come, you're like, I can't imagine I would have done the things that I've done.
And
so
I'm
far.
guilty of that all the time. Like, I'll get frustrated, like, if things are just not working out like how I want them to, which you've got to remember, like, it's not your time.
Everyone
It's
has
always
that.
God's timing.
Exactly.
And try to hold yourself accountable to that. But it can put you in, like, some dark places. You just think you're not, conquering enough. And then you look back. I do it all the time. Like, I'll go back and look at pictures and, like, man, like, where I was 4 years ago, I never would have expected to be where I am now.
I do that shit all the time.
And they say it's a 10-year town, and can you imagine 4 years from now what things will look like?
And I mean,
Still
that's
won't be 10.
That's what I,
Yeah,
I try
exactly.
to. I try to manifest success in everything I do. Like, that's the one quote I'm living by in 2024 is manifest success.
Word.
And try to put yourself in situations or in opportunities to where you can be successful.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that just comes with the mindset of,
And you experience a
having
lot of
faith in
fear
yourself.
in that. You experience a lot of fear,
absolutely.
and you got to walk in faith, like you were saying.
I mean, there's
And-
fear in just moving up here.
But I was watching
yeah.
some podcasts with these guys, and they're like, use fear as like almost a compass. Is like that's where you need to go.
And if you're comfortable, you're not doing something right. Like,
Amen.
I've heard that several times, but it makes so much sense. Like, the more uncomfortable you are in a situation, like in your career, the better off you are, because it means you're putting yourself, like, out there to do something.
So, switching lanes, besides Rick's Cafe, because I know that's, like, your favorite place ever, I think your second favorite place ever is Statesboro, Georgia.
Oh man, I love Statesboro.
So we got to get on the topic of Statesboro for a minute. If you've never heard of Statesboro, Georgia,
If you've never heard of Statesboro, Georgia, you're not living right.
A small town in southeast Georgia.
That's Georgia Southern.
Yeah, they
Georgia
have Georgia
Southern.
Southern University. And I've been down. I think the first time I ever did a show down there actually was with Hunter Chastain. And funny enough, Paxton and I think y'all played the night
we
before.
played the night. We
I
played
didn't-
the night after y'all.
night after.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know you at the time, which is crazy. But and then the 3 or 4 other times I've been down to Statesboro has been with Paxton. I went once with Connor Sweeney. But dude, talk about Statesboro for a little bit. Just the scene down there, the music, we probably can't talk a lot about it, but
I can't tell you too much about it, but those Georgia Southern students love live music. Like, it's unlike anywhere like I've been on the road. Like they are all about it, and they're all about the party as well. Like I think it was the first time I went down there with you. Maybe I think it was. We ended up going to this like house party after the show.
Yeah.
In this big ass neighborhood, and all these like Georgia Southern kids, and they're jacked up, brand new trucks are just like doing donuts and shit out in the middle of in a neighborhood.
Dude. Everyone's on 4-wheelers too, just right. It's like 3 a.m., dude.
And we're in a
neighborhood. Yeah, and like people are outside like just shooting like guns and bonfires everywhere. Yeah, dude,
it's a massive college neighborhood, and I would live
Clemson's
there.
small, but like
Paxton has always said that he would live in Statesboro.
I would live in Statesboro,
just
Georgia.
be
I love that.
The local that doesn't go to school there.
Like I said this earlier before we started the pod. Like if I'm driving somewhere close enough, I would stop in Statesboro just passing through.
Oh, dude.
I mean, you don't want to smell Statesboro. I mean,
especially the Blue Room, dude. That place has gotten out of hand. So
it just gets sweaty, man. Like it's rowdy. Like
shout out to a quick story, real quick. Might be a tiny little tangent, but we have to say it just for the sake of this. Shout out to our buddy DJ Nino. Nino, if you're watching this, one of my favorite memories of Georgia Southern is. So Paxton got done, and how it works at Blue Room is usually if whoever's playing, after they play, it's like a pretty quick turnover, and then a DJ will come on. So they're setting up DJ stuff, and we met Nino that night, and Nino was just like the in-house DJ for like Georgia Southern. He lives in Vegas now, and he does like DJing out there, but he comes back sometimes. Anyways, Nino was getting on stage, and me and Paxton had dabbled into the Crown a little bit, so that means that we're going to get up on stage and like dance and make a fool of ourselves while Nino's playing. And I remember Nino grabbing me and he was like, "Hey, after the set, like I'm going to come hang out." I'm like, cool. We get done and we're all hanging out, dude, and we just are just hanging out, just having a great time. And Nino hanging out. Nino kind of runs away and we don't see him like the rest of the night. I'm like, "Yo, Paxton, have you seen DJ Nino?" He's like, "No, dude, I have no idea." He just walked away.
We're the Redneck Express this trip, too.
Yeah, so we're on the Redneck Express at Georgia Southern. Redneck Express, if someone doesn't know who the Redneck Express is, I'm sorry. That's the greatest touring vehicle to ever hit the ground running. R.I.P. to the Redneck Express. But it was Connor Sweeney's touring vehicle. If you've ever seen a box truck, or like I always call it a bread truck. I've always seen the trucks on the road that deliver like
a Wonder Bread truck.
Yeah, a Wonder Bread truck. It's converted into a touring vehicle, so we took that down to Georgia Southern, and we were driving it all over Statesboro, dude. Just looked like a bunch of heathens in that thing.
Which we were.
A bunch of heathens. God, dude, the Redneck Express, dude. That just I have to take a moment of silence and just appreciate the Redneck Express.
So before I moved to town, I was with them the first time they ever drove it. They're like, "We don't even know how this thing drives, but if you're in town and you'd like to stick around, we're driving it to Davidson, North Carolina, for 5.5 hours in the mountains in the rain in the middle of the night." I was like, "Let's get it." I was driving that thing, dude. I was so scared.
Passing 18
every time you pass,
it shakes really bad.
Bro. And then the mountains and the rain, it's like we're flipping over. This is the night.
Anyways, apparently DJ Nino had walked out of the door and was trying to find the Redneck Express and said he couldn't find the Redneck Express.
How?
So I don't know, but we talked to him the next day. Yeah, we talked to him the next day, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I really don't remember what happened." And I was like,
"Thank God." Being able to find Jelly Rolls at the Grammys.
I was like, "Well, thank God you're alive and you're good." But that's just a funny story, dude. He literally just walked out of the door and like we didn't see him again.
Yeah, I would love to like dabble and share some Statesboro stories, but I think we'd have to charge for that. So
we can't do all that. We'd have to check. Yeah, we can't do all that. But
we're going to steer away from that. But if you've never been, you've got to go.
You got to go. One cool memory was when we played after Parker McCollum played. So Parker sold out Blue Room, obviously, and then they moved it outside, and it's like you can fit like 4,000 people outside. Nice. So Parker plays, and he gets done, and then we play like 2 hours after, or maybe like an hour or two after his set inside. So they're trying to fit 4,000 people.
Like that?
It was scheduled like that.
They're trying to fit 4,000 people into Blue Room, and obviously you can't fit 4,000. So there's a line like crazy.
That's so sick.
So we go in there, and it's basically like a sold out show. I mean, it is a sold out show. You can't fit anybody else in there, but It was so much fun. But Parker played first, so kind of open for Paxton.
We sat on the top of the Redneck
Express and watched Parker's show. And
That's sick, dude.
We were just up there with like 2 buckets of beer. Just
it was like the ultimate afternoon. Like
That's
sun going down in beautiful Statesboro, Georgia. Parker McCollum's
NASCAR
playing.
vibes.
God, I love that place, man.
Is there anybody like so? Parker's a pretty big name. I know you've opened for Trey Lewis. You've opened for Eli Young Band. I'm sure there. Who else have you? There's a lot of
Tyler Booth, Chris Lane.
Oh yeah, Chris Lane one was great.
John Langston,
JL,
and Frank Foster.
I love Frank's music. Out of all those people, is there anybody that like just is your like a great show that you remember doing? I'm sure all those shows were great, but like just like a bucket list one or like a check off.
I tell this to everybody. John Langston's live show is insane. They get down, man. Like you want to see some heavy country music, like go watch a John Langston show. I don't even know how to describe it. You just need to go see it. I love watching their set. I mean, they're so tight.
Yeah, I did 2 shows with Noah Hicks, and he opened for John, and dude, they rock out.
They get down. Like it's one of those shows like you stay energized the whole time. And like for most people that like don't know John's stuff, you need to definitely go check it out. His new record that he just put out is amazing.
That makes sense that you like live shows so much because like I feel like your show's great. Like, you have a great voice, but you have like pretty high energy when you play.
And that's like one thing that I try to like.
Performance and crowd control.
Performance is like that's what I'm good at. Like I love songwriting but being a performer is I feel like my strong suit.
Do you think you get that from playing sports growing up?
I mean maybe in some sense, but I think a lot of it has to do with I'm like a diehard, huge Jason Aldean fan, and I've seen Aldean like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen one of his shows, he's running around the stage like I do, jumping around, like just he's into it the whole time. And I think that's where I get a lot of it from is just watching him so much, and like he's like one of my idols in the country music world.
Yeah.
But to me, like that's
just
that's what I enjoy. Like I always tell anybody, like, okay, like you've seen me play like a writer's round or something, you want to see me at my best, come watch me play a live show.
Dude, speaking of
you got one coming up this week, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, live. Speaking of the like bucket list thing, dude, I'm not an artist, like I've said this 1,000 times, but a bucket list thing for me that you have done would be to write a song with Corey Smith. So growing up in Georgia, dude, Corey Smith, I think it was the second concert, period, that I had ever been to in my whole life. It was in LaGrange, Georgia at their amphitheater, and Corey was headlining. This was back in 2015, maybe?
Prime Corey days.
Dude.
And what blows my mind is
fuck the Popo.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Some people like didn't know who Corey Smith was, and I'm like,
yeah, dude. Everyone from my hometown,
your college years like must have absolutely fucking sucked if you don't know who Corey Smith is. Like,
everyone in my college town or like my hometown, like we were all bumping Corey Smith, like
and it wasn't just like fuck the Popo, like 21
oh yeah,
drinking again. Like I even go as far as like some of his stuff, like the baseball song and like Cellophane and like some of his newer stuff. Like I'm a big fan. Like getting it right with Corey was like a definite bucket list item.
Have you how many times have you written with him?
I've written 2 songs with Corey.
2,
which was like.
Were any of them your ideas? Were they both Corey's?
He brought in like guitar melodies both times, and then I kind of ran with the idea. We got 2 great songs out of it. It was the craziest thing for me was the first time that he like laid the work tape down. I was like, 2015 Paxton is freaking the fuck out right now. Like my first ever concert, like at a venue, like at a bar, was at Rick's Cafe. I just turned 18 that day. I was still in high school.
Dang.
So I tell my parents, sorry, I'm staying at my friend's house. Well, he told him he was staying at my house. So we go and stay at his sister's house, and it's in the Cotton District. So we're, 18 years old, hanging out in the Cotton District, going to Rick's, drinking some cheap vodka, whatever we could get our hands on. We were 18. We were seniors in high school. Corey Smith was the first concert I ever saw at Rick's the day I turned 18.
That's awesome.
It was a great
full
time.
circle
Have you told him that?
Sure.
Yeah, I told him about like the first time we wrote together, and like funny enough, like we're standing in there and like we're first time in like a bar, you don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
I can't drink. I got these big ass X's on my hands, and I'm standing like down in the pit part of Rick's, and like this girl walks up to me and she's like, "Hey, you go to school here?" So I'm like, I try to play it off. I'm a senior in high school. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a Kappa Sig." And she was like, well, do you know like so and so? And I'm like, no, I don't know who that is. And she was like, well, that's weird. Like, he's in your pledge class. And I'm like, oh, busted. Like, no, I'm a senior in high school. I'm just here because I'm 18.
Funny.
Good times, man.
That's funny.
I was wild when I was younger.
Those two songs you wrote with Corey, like, do you think anything you're gonna come about with those?
I think they'll make their appearance into the world
Hell yeah.
someday here soon.
That's exciting. Is there anybody in town, like Corey's probably a big one. I know you wrote with like Jordan Rager, he's great, and a bunch of other guys. Is there anybody in town that like you would just like kill to write with?
So I ended up knocking one of my like I called a top 5. Like I have a top 5 list of people that I want to write with, and I got to write with Dan Isbell, who's written a bunch of Luke Combs songs. That was awesome. We got a good song out of it, but other than that, like definitely Hardy.
Hardy.
Yeah, man. I'm super like. I love like how he changed the game. Like with his first 2 EPs that he put out, it was just like he brought like this different style into the genre of country music, and his songwriting ability is incredible. Just
another Mississippi guy, right?
And and being another Mississippi guy, and it helps. You know, he's a Mississippi State fan too. That's always a plus. Don't really dabble too much in the Ole Miss side of things. Just I grew up in Starkville, so you know you grew up big time rivals for them. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, Hardy would definitely be like a dream write for me, for sure.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about Hardy for a while. What's your favorite Hardy song?
Man, my favorite Hardy song, I'm going to throw it way back here. And most people probably don't know it. If you do, like you definitely listen to the old records, but throwback. It was like on one of, I think it was his second record he put out, his EP, Throwback.
Dude, his new
I
song
don't
is
know
sick.
that one.
Yeah, Throwback is a banger.
I really started listening to Hardy. This might be like a cliche answer, but what was the one of him when he had? What was the album name when he had like a flannel on?
The Rednecker record.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think no, it was. I don't think
it was
on there.
I can't think of what it was, but it
It had
I'll
like
pull
that
it
and
up.
4x4 on it.
I think so.
Is
I
it
can't
called
remember.
Hardy?
It might have been like 2019. McElwain, do you know?
I don't, but I think it's the one he's talking about. It's
Yeah.
4x4 and Redneck.
Yeah, I think it
Okay,
was
yeah.
when like Rednecker was a kind of the song that like kind of yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of like Rednecker kind of like put him like out on
Yeah,
the
put him
map.
on the
I feel like. I mean, he was doing the whole Florida Georgia line thing. I mean, if you look, the dude's written numerous
hits.
like, and not every one of them went number 1, but like I mean, they got damn close. Like
Yeah.
he's got
He
a few
wrote Up
number
Down,
ones too.
didn't he?
Yeah, he wrote Up Down.
Yeah.
Dude, his new song with the rapping and he screams.
See, like people,
Dude,
some
that
people
quit.
don't like it, man. I
Really?
love it. Like,
dude, it's sick.
I love it. Like,
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, it's like I listen to it like that's a motivational thing. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I watched his
Listen
little
to his
documentary
story.
on YouTube, like his 22-minute documentary about when
Yeah.
they played 2 different shows in one night. One was Mockingbird, one was The Crow.
I think I
Oh,
watched that.
that's
It's
cool.
great.
Where he like went to the next
Yeah, he
venue.
went to
and
another
was, like,
venue
That
and
was the
played, like,
rock
yeah.
side of the show. Yeah, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the
Where was that? San Diego,
no L.A.
L.A. That's what it was.
Troubadour and
What's that whiskey?
Whiskey Go Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are historic venues too.
And that's like a cool way to like bring
Yeah.
out that record because the record was like half country, half rock, and like to literally do 2 different shows, go
Yeah.
from the country show to the rock.
I wonder
show.
if he closed with the Mockingbird song at the first one and then
So
came
I
out with
think
it because
how
that's
it
how the
worked.
album is with the
I think that's how it like
and it's
worked.
like all caps is the rock
He
song.
played the first half of Mockingbird and the Crow, and then like they cut
Yeah,
it.
and then when it-
go to the next
Yeah.
venue,
That's
and then
exactly
they
what
come
it
into the rock part of it, and then
And
it's
that
just
song-
like the rock songs the rest of
Yeah.
the way, which those are all bangers, man.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, dude, me and you together, dude. We've done so many shows together.
We've
Like,
been some places,
yeah, dude, like some hole in the wall. We've done,
some
like,
not so good, and some that were like
we've done
great.
some great ones. Like, dude, I remember we drove all the way to Omaha, Nebraska. You remember that? That was like a year ago
Oh
yesterday,
man,
or 2 years ago yesterday. Or
yeah,
something.
and we played. It was like they had just
It was
gotten
like
a
a
massive snowstorm there.
Yeah, and it was like a sit down restaurant style thing.
Yeah, like when I got there, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting this to like be super fun, but it was me, you, Jared McCartney, Jake Gant, and I think
Millwood.
Drew
Was
and
Millwood?
Millwood.
Yeah.
Earl and Vine?
Barrel and Vine.
Yeah, dude.
So we got there. We're not like expecting like this super fun show. That's probably the most drunk I've ever been on stage. Like these people, they. Yeah, that's probably not a true statement. Then
What would you say his drunkest on stage?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I don't know, man.
Probably somewhere on
Probably
Broadway
Statesboro.
or Statesboro, dude. There was one time.
Did I play? Yeah, I did the Statesboro. He got drunk after the.
There's been a time at Statesboro that I remember like being so drunk I almost fell a few times. But I mean, you can't not get drunk at Statesboro, man.
Dude,
Like,
you remember when we stayed at my sister's house? So my sister still lives in Statesboro,
Oh, man.
and she was out of town, and I asked Cameron, and her roommate was out of town too. So they just had an empty house, and I asked Cameron, that's my sister's name, if we could.
sorry,
I'm gonna bleep.
sorry, Cam, about your house.
Yeah, we'll believe that. But we were at my sister's house, and we were staying there. And after the show, dude, we just had a blast. And
Had a great time.
wake up the next morning, and dude, I just remember like Paxton just opening and shutting the door like repeatedly, and I was like, dude, what is going on? And I guess he just went out there and just let some demons out a few times.
Oh yeah, more than a few. I mean, you got to plant your demons where you gather them at, and I gathered mine in Statesboro that night, so I figured I would leave them there.
Well said.
But realistically, I don't think all of us slept maybe 2 hours, which is usually how it goes when you go
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure true, especially at the Eagle's Nest.
Oh man, I treat Statesboro like vacation.
Nice, nice. You just paid vacation.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
a paid vacation, and it's always a good time. I mean, and it's a great show too. The room itself.
It sounds like I
Blue
need to
Room's
go to
nice.
Statesboro.
You definitely need to go. And it's not just like for the party. Like it's fun to go down there and like party because it's like a kick-ass party there every time. But it sounds good. The
Nice.
stage is awesome.
Good quality,
the
good
production's
production,
like
yeah.
crazy. And John is an amazing sound guy. Love that dude.
Yeah, dude, me and John have bonded a few times. John is
And he's
pretty
always
cool.
like, he's just like nonchalant with like the smart ass comments. Like when
Yeah,
you get
dude.
there, like,
John
"Oh,
is the man."
She's so late for this time. Like, well, I didn't blow a tire out this time. You know, we just got caught up in Atlanta.
That's crazy. Besides Mississippi, where's your favorite, well, I guess favorite venue? So we talked about Statesboro, and I don't know, dude. Like for me, the Blue Room's cool, but it's not like a favorite venue. But
Also,
Like
your
one that I've
dream
played?
venue.
yeah,
One that I've played.
yeah, like your favorite venue you've played besides
And
Rick's,
And then
I
one you
guess.
haven't.
Well, obviously my favorite one I played would be Rick's, but other than that, Brewski's in Hattiesburg, Mississippi
Yeah,
is
dude, that's
super awesome.
I love that place.
It's a great room.
It's a great
stage. Is
stage.
huge, man.
Big stage.
And dream venue, definitely Red Rocks.
Red Rocks for sure.
Yeah, I would love to. I don't care if I open a show at Red Rocks, and I've told myself this like since I moved here, and I may like be shooting in the dark on this, but like I'm not gonna attend a show at Red Rocks. I want to play.
Yeah, that's what
a
I
show
always
at Red
said.
Rocks.
Huh.
And fingers crossed that it works out. But I'm supposed to work a show there in June
Oh man,
with Drayton.
that's
So
a dream right there.
I'm hoping that'll work out. And when I was with Presley Aaron, we played at the Grizzly Rose in Denver. Like me, him, and Jake, and a bunch of other guys, Khalil. But we had an off day, so we drove up to Red Rocks and like walked around. There was no show that day, and we were just looking at it. But I'm the same way. Like certain artists or certain like venues, I'll be real hard on myself and not go see that artist or not go to that venue until like I'm like getting paid or working.
Just
or
like
doing
makes
it.
you want to grind too.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure, gives you that motivation.
and it's like I don't feel like it's just a super far reach. I think it's just like giving yourself the opportunity to get put in those positions.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one
Good
thing I've tried to
motivator.
do since I've been here is like prepare myself for the opportunity. That's why I try to take my show up to the next level and get tracks and do like the whole 9 yards. So if the opportunity presents itself, somebody calls me and says, "Hey, I need you to come open for so and so on the road playing 3 arena shows for 2 weekends in a row." I'm like, okay, well, I've been waiting on this moment. Like I've got everything I need for it.
Let's go. Yeah,
Dude,
that's
one
good.
story from the road that has to be told for the internet to hear, and there's a video too. We'll watch it, and but the video it's on my phone, and I don't know where we're at, but we're somewhere, and it's like 3-4 in the morning, and we're at a quick trip, and we're getting out pumping gas. I'm driving, so I'm sober. Paxton's lit Logan's lit.
Oh man,
I don't know who all was with us. We were on Redneck Express. Just a funny video. Logan sticks his head out the window, just screaming at Paxton like they're lit.
Yeah.
Dude, we put gas in. We get back in the Redneck Express. We're driving down. I think we were on the interstate.
You just see,
we were on the
you look in your rearview
We're on the
mirror.
interstate or highway, and I'm driving, and me and Paxton's up front with me, I think, or so, I don't know.
Yeah,
who-
I'm in the
Paxton's
passenger
up front
seat.
with me. Me and Paxton are talking, and I get carried away, like in conversation. I look up, and there's like a turn coming, like a sharp turn. So I slow it down. And how the Redneck Express was, we were talking about it was so top heavy and wobbly.
Yeah.
Like if you turn at 20 miles an hour, like on a just a
Two
turn,
wheels.
like it's gonna do some damage on the inside. Things are gonna get like shift around. So I'm probably going 20. Like I was going from like 45, 50 to like 20, 25 with pretty quick, and then do the slight turn. When I turn, dude, Millwood is asleep. I don't know if he was asleep or awake or just passed
Like
out.
with
what
his
he was.
bunk?
hand, no, he's
Dude,
on the
Mac-
couch
he-
with his
okay.
hands.
He
in
had
his shirt.
his like sleeves pulled in like
Yeah.
this. Like his sleeves were pulled in and they were inside of his sweatshirt. And he's just sleeping. But his whole body's kind of leaning to the right of the couch like this. So he's about to fall off the couch anyways.
Yeah.
So when we go around this turn, the force of gravity just kind of brings Millwood with it, and the couch flips.
Oh.
And when the couch flips, Millwood falls first, and the couch falls, and then it rolls. And Millwood's hands, he's dead asleep.
Yeah.
Or like dead
It's
passed
still
out.
asleep after it flipped?
Well, like he hits, and his hands are in here,
Yeah.
so he
So
just
he can't
wakes
catch
up.
himself.
Yeah.
Dude, he wakes up mid flip. I can't imagine how scary that was. But I
Straight
pull over,
jacket.
after the turn, it straightened up. So I pulled over on the shoulder and like put the flashers on, get in the back, and Millwood's like in a sleep but awake and thinks he's in a nightmare. And I was like, Millwood, like get up, dude. And he was like, and I was like, dude, like come on, get back on the couch. Like we got to go. We're on the side of the road. And he was like, I am on the couch. And I was like, no, you're not, dude. You're on the floor. And he's like, I was on the couch. But
I don't
dude,
know how we ever survived trips in that thing, man.
God, dude, me and Hunter Chastain broke down in that thing, and
We
were on
broke
the-
down
we were
in
on
it.
the side.
I think there's a few.
Like my first trip to Statesboro, we left like the night early. We're trying to get there early and do the whole thing, right, and blow a tire on the interstate like an hour from Statesboro. And like Cato had just gotten done driving,
Yeah.
so I was like, "Hey man, like go hop in the bunk, go to sleep, and I'll drive the rest of the way." I don't think I make it 15 minutes.
Yeah, dude, I had drove like
and I hear this loud bang, and the steering wheel just starts shaking.
I
took
drove
that
for
thing-
like
I just pulled
6
over.
hours that day, dude.
Yeah.
And then I'm like laying down on my phone, like getting comfortable, and all of a sudden I hear like, "Dude." And I looked at Paxton and I knew what it was. Like I already knew something was like messed
Yeah.
up. I knew the tire had came off because I could hear like the metal.
Yeah.
And dude, I didn't even no one even said anything. Like as it's going on, I think everybody in the whole Redneck Express knew what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
So I hopped down and I walk up to Paxton and I was like, "What side was it?"
I can't remember who it was. I think it may have been Brian or Drew. Somebody hollered up there and was like, "What was that?" And I'm steadily, just like pulling off the side of the road. I was like, "Blew a tire.
Dude, we
Get it fixed in the morning."
And we just slept on the side of the interstate, dude.
Dude, I didn't sleep all night because like these trucks would come by and like shake the thing. And, like we're like literally 4 foot off of a main interstate. So all these
that's-
18
dude.
We're like as close to the median or close to the
no
guardrails
cop
as we
knocked
can
on your window or
get.
nothing.
No, man.
No,
I
dude.
sat up the whole night and then called
'Cause-
like this tow truck to come bring us a tire the next
Because
day.
all you hear is like, or you're sleeping and you hear like, and then it just
And then
shakes.
just a little shake. Damn.
But yeah, then the tire people couldn't get there for what till like the next morning.
Yeah, it was like 7 o'clock the next morning.
And this happened at like 2 a.m. maybe.
Yeah.
And when I say I didn't
that's
sleep,
shit.
I sat in the passenger seat like I could never fall asleep, man. Like I was like
We took
nervous.
that thing to Key West. Wait, actually, no, it was a Sprinter, but on the way back into AC in
man.
Florida in the summer.
Dude, we got to get Redneck Express back. Like we got to buy it back one day or something.
I think
yeah,
we should
but we
buy it
need a
back
lot
and
of maintenance and upgrading.
be
No, not
good-
even a touring, dude. Just to have it.
be a
Like,
good
Yeah.
humbling experience.
yeah, dude, that thing has seen its day. So you've had a lot of songs come out. Like, dude, one of my favorite songs you put out for real is probably "Leave Me Too." I love that song. But
That's my favorite,
a
actually.
lot of your songs have done pretty good. What Hometown Hero? Do you have a date for that yet?
I don't have a date for it.
Yeah, is anyone gonna be
right now.
featured on it?
I'm definitely gonna have a feature on it. You'll find out on my TikTok. who the feature is.
Follow Paxton
At
Peay
Paxton
Music
Peay.
on
Yeah,
TikTok.
follow Paxton Peay Music on TikTok to find out the feature. But I've got that, and I've got 3 other songs I'm going to be putting out this year as well, starting about,
Pretty soon.
yeah, we'll just say pretty soon. We'll do that.
What
but
does soon mean?
I've got some of my favorite songs that I've written since I moved to town coming out this year. Super excited about a few of them. I think they can do big things, given them, market works right. I feel like everything up here now kind of relies on the TikTok algorithm to give you a little boost, but I'm just going to keep grinding away and doing how I know to do it, and that's play shows and put music out.
Are you at Paxton Peay on every platform? Like,
Yeah,
where can
every
they find you?
platform at Paxton Peay Music. Don't follow me on Twitter or whatever it's called now because I don't post on it.
X.
Yeah, I just use it to check scores.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Who is like your dream opening slot? Like if you can open for an artist, let's say in today's world,
Jason Aldean,
Jason Aldean.
no doubt. I've been watching him since I was a kid. Like, and what's crazy to me, like, I'll tell everybody this, like, you think you may know Jason Aldean songs? If you go start from his first record and just start playing them, I know every
Word for word.
to every song.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
Let's quiz Paxton real quick.
Yeah, let's quiz me. Pretty good at these. I like to
So
think
I'm gonna
I
go
am.
to Spotify and look at Aldean's.
Oh, we're going with a song quiz here. I got this in the bag. If you go to the early records.
What album was Fly Over States on?
Was that not the Flyover States? It's on My Kind of Party record.
There you
Yeah.
go. What album was Texas Was You?
Was that not also on the My Kind of Party
There
record?
you go. You got it right.
Going down like the track list in my head.
Can you name 3 songs on the Wide Open album?
Laughed Until We Cried. Why? And what's another one?
Wait. No, that's not on there.
Why's not on there?
Neither
Laughed
is Laughed Until We Cried.
Is it not? Which
Are you
record?
over
Oh,
it?
it's on Relentless. That's on
Wide
Relentless.
Open is the one with Jason with a cowboy hat on and he's leaning up against.
Yeah, those 2 are on Relentless. One of them, Back in the Cigarette. I'm trying to like get the records right.
Big Green Tractor was on this one.
Okay, so Big Green Tractor, Amarillo Sky. No,
Dang, bro.
I'm not too good like knowing what songs.
Big
are on
Green
what
Tractor,
record.
The Truth, She's Country.
You just know every word to every
Crazy
song.
I literally
Town.
know every word to every
You can
song.
put lyrics and
You're not gonna get me on lyrics
Really?
of one of those songs. It can be like one of the deep cuts too. I'm gonna know every word.
let's go.
I'm a super fan.
How does When She Says Baby start?
I'm trying to. Is it I've always been there? No, that ain't it. Play a clip of the song.
Well, you can't.
It starts in like a bar.
All right, cut it off. Cut it off. What is it? Some days it's tough just getting
There you
up.
go.
Putting on these boots and making that climb.
How does Take a Little Ride start?
Oh, dude.
Come on, dude.
Okay,
You're a
so
country.
myself-
You're a country boy. You should know this. It has to do with doing something country.
Oh, dude. There's no way.
Bruh.
Been
Been going round and round all day, baling some hay.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, last one. I'm gonna try to go pretty old.
Go to the old stuff. That's the ones I know.
How does? All right, we're gonna have a countdown. You have 10 seconds
For that one?
to tell me how Amarillo Sky starts right now. 10, 9.
He gets up before the dawn.
There you go. All right, 10 seconds. How does Asphalt Cowboy start?
This is actually a cover. Do you know that?
Uh-uh.
Yeah. So I think Blake Shelton put the song out first.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
No, bro. I'm going to mess this one up.
1. The sun has opened up my eyes.
Oh, I said the sun has opened up my eyes.
Yeah, dude. Paxton Peay, big Jason Aldean fan.
Just don't know how the first words start.
Sure, or is he?
Do you have what's your favorite Aldean song?
Back in this cigarette.
Back in this cigarette?
Mm-hmm.
Back in this
Or
cigarette.
Night Train. Night Train was absolute. That whole record's probably the Night Train record's my favorite record he's ever put out. But Back in the Cigarette's probably my favorite song he's ever put out.
Dude, do you have any shows coming up? I know we talked about new music. We got 4 new songs coming this year. You got any shows coming up that you
I do. I've got some stuff that's still kind of out on hold, but I'll be going back to Rick's in Starkville here soon. I've got a show this Friday with Raised Rowdy at good old Live Oak. Then playing a Mossy Oak event here for NWTF Convention Week, which is going to be awesome.
Where's that at, Marathon?
Yeah, it's at Marathon Music Works.
Hell yeah.
Then going back to Columbus, Georgia, Statesboro,
Broadway
Georgia.
Saloon.
We'll be back in
Statesboro.
Statesboro. Looking at doing a couple shows down at the Floribama this year.
Hell yeah.
Always a blast. I love the beach too.
We
I
had
grew up
so
going down there
much
too.
fun last time we were there.
Yeah, that was a good trip.
That was for the Raised Rowdy takeover.
That was a long trip too. We played 2
Dude.
private events, fraternity parties in Starkville, and then drove through.
That was the
night.
worst weather I have ever driven in my entire life. Do you remember how
dude.
bad it was storming?
Oh my God! You want to talk about scared on the road? I've never been scared like.
Rain?
Dude,
Yes.
I was going less than 10 miles an hour on the strip in Floribama. McElwain, were you there for that event?
You missed.
Wait,
you
what were
missed
y'all
that
in?
weather.
That was,
We're all in.
We were in the Sprinter, and it's like 4:00 in the morning. There's nothing open. You can barely see the road.
Dude, that was so
I'm
bad.
drinking.
Yeah. You're driving? Or
Definitely not.
I'm driving.
He's driving. I'm drinking.
freaking out.
Yeah, like dude, it was terrible weather. Like, and the bad part about that is it happened like 30 minutes before we got there. It was raining when we got there
I had to stop one time
Dude,
coming back to Nashville
I
because
think-
there's a straight up tornado.
I
because
think
we couldn't get in
that-
the band house.
Yeah, I think that was the trip that after, was it that trip? After your show, one of the shows, I like went and got in the Sprinter and like fell asleep. And Nikki T like recorded me while I was asleep in the Sprinter.
Yeah, it was at Floribama.
Yeah.
You were passed out
I was
asleep.
lit after that show.
But that had
I
been
to
like
get
a
some
long 2 days. Like
sleep. Long 2 days.
we, if I'm not mistaken,
That band
we went
house
to a football game in Starkville too.
Yeah.
We played one
Yeah,
fraternity.
they played,
there.
who'd they play?
Played LSU.
LSU, yeah.
We played one
Got
fraternity
stomped.
party Friday night, went to the game the next day, played another one, then drove straight to
Drove
Floribama.
all the way to
after.
Floribama that night.
And slept like, what, 2 or 3 hours?
Yeah, dude.
Went back to drinking the next morning.
I woke up and ate breakfast that morning.
I mean,
That
you
was-
can't go down there and not go to the beach. And that was like the perfect day. Like, no
Yeah, dude, that was
waves,
so
crystal
much fun.
clear water,
Dude, I
bushwhacker.
prefer waves, bro.
Bushwhackers, dude.
No,
were
like
off
we
the
were
chain.
big chilling. We didn't want waves. Like we were like this deep in the water,
Yeah.
just like holding the
Dude,
bushwhacker,
I
just
love waves,
kicking
but
it on
yeah,
the beach.
no, that is nice.
McElwain, how long are we at on this one?
Yeah, if we take away some time, probably about hour 5.
All right, cool. One more question for Paxton Peay.
What you got?
Let's hear it.
I just have a silly question.
What is your silly question?
Let's hear it.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Oh, dude, Jennifer Aniston, man.
Still?
Bro,
Yeah,
always.
dude.
There's only
I
one
mean,
answer.
I mean, I've got another one. My girlfriend's gonna kill me if I say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't care. My celebrity crush is probably Livy Dunn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
reasonable.
Probably right
I
there
mean,
with you.
Jennifer Aniston's
I mean, if
like
we're
my
being
real
real-
celebrity, but like
I'd rather take Olivia Rodrigo on a date than Jennifer Aniston today. Because Rachel from Friends is, she's a pastime.
yeah, Livy's my celebrity
Livy-
crush.
yeah. I think that's mine too.
She's
100%.
taken the TikTok world.
By a
By
chokehold.
storm.
Yeah.
By
By the balls.
What's your so if you're on the road, what is your to go to at the gas station? Everyone's got their little snacks they always get when you're on
It
the road.
depends on what gas station we go to.
If you're not at Buc-ee's.
If I'm not at Buc-ee's, I'm getting a bag of hot Cheetos and a Dr. Pepper.
God. That does not go together.
It does totally go together. I promise you.
Nah, dude. Takis and like a body armor. Bro.
I've never had Takis.
Ever?
No.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh!
You're
I'll
missing
never
out.
forget the first day I tried
If
Takis
you're,
at carpool at middle
So
school.
if you're at like a Buc-ee's, what are you gonna get at Buc-ee's?
The turkey melt, I think it's called
Yep.
like the turkey club melt. I think that's what it is. And then
with brisket on it or no?
no, it's like turkey, bacon, ham, like whatever their like mayonnaise sauce is and like cheese.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting one of those and like a little thing of potato salad and probably some hot
Beaver
Cheetos.
nuggets.
Nah.
Shout out Jake Gant, put me on the Beaver Nuggets.
I'm
changed
not
my
a
life.
Beaver Nuggets fan, man.
I like beaver nuggets, but I don't like them. I don't like a lot of them.
Dude, I can't I always tell myself like, oh, you feel like shit after you eat them, but when I have one, it is.
Let me put y'all
over.
on something. Next time you go to Buc-ee's, go look in like their little freezer thing over by like where their beef jerky is, and get like one of their stuffed chicken breasts.
Okay, I was about to say because I was disappointed in their beef jerky.
No,
I can't
dude,
lie.
they have like these frozen stuffed chicken breasts that are like stuffed with like
And you take it home
Thanksgiving
and just cook
dressing and like shrimp or crawfish.
I bet that's
stuff
so
like that.
expensive.
I mean, it is, but it's worth it. It's
it. Yeah,
so good.
I'll have to remember that.
Well, I gotta go pee, so we're gonna wrap the episode up. Paxton Peay in the building.
Appreciate you coming, bro.
You can find
Enjoy it,
Paxton
big
at
dog.
Paxton Peay Music on all social media. Go check him out. Go see his show. If you're in town in Nashville, come check him out at a round, and we'll see y'all later.
Break.